It made the media mad because they had no clue. And I love it. James Bondery. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and that you had a great week. As you can see, I'm coming to you from a less exciting place than I did last week. Nevertheless, welcome to all of my house guests. Grab yourselves a drink and make yourselves comfortable. If you're passing by and you'd like to become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I'm Chez, this is Chez M0i. Welcome to my place. Oftentimes I'll make a random observation and then my mind will go down a rabbit hole I wasn't really expecting. I then like to open up a conversation to find out if other people have given these topics some consideration. For example, what two things do these children have in common? Number one, they all have a mother of African descent. Number two, their fathers are princes of reigning European royal families. Ironically, the most well-known are the two youngest in this list, so knowing that Prince Archie and Princess Lily were not the first royal offspring of mixed heritage is puzzling to understand why there's so much demand for new photos of them when their parents are behaving so responsibly by protecting their privacy. When they reach an age of independence, Prince Archie and Princess Lily will decide whether they want to be known publicly, like 21-year-old Alexandre Grimaldi, who is the grandson of Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier of Monaco. Alexandre was described as the illegitimate son of Prince Albert of Monaco and Togo-born Nicole Coste. I find it odd but not surprising that the same level of fascination has not been applied to an older illegitimate child of Prince Albert, a daughter called Jasmine. Regardless of his so-called illegitimacy, the fact remains that Alexandre is an acknowledged member of the Royal House of Grimaldi and at the age of 20 decided to make himself public, knowing the risks that could incur. Then we have Prince Alphonse Constantine Maria of Liechtenstein, Count of Rietberg, whose Panamanian American mother Angela became a princess when she married Alphonse's father, Prince Maximilian of Liechtenstein. You hardly hear anything about this interracial family because the tiny Principality of Liechtenstein appears to be much more accepting than the UK, who laughingly refers to acceptance as one of its British values, a value they don't display. As we move to a different part of Europe, 31st of August, 52-year-old Norwegian Princess Martha Louise married her 49-year-old African-American partner, Derek David Verrett, otherwise known as Durek Verrett, in a 3-day extravaganza. I read up on this couple and they have had their fair share of opposition and controversy, but I only found out about them in the last couple of days. Were it not for me making this video, I would never have known who they are. So, when all eyes are on Harry and Meghan, I love the way they skillfully redirect that focus to whatever projects they're working on, such as Harry's scheduled trip to New York next month. This article is from theexpress.co.uk, published on the 28th of August 2024, and the headline reads, Prince Harry's upcoming New York trip has a sweet nod to Princess Diana. Prince Harry will be flying to the Big Apple alone for a slew of events coinciding with Climate Week in September, and to check in on a few of his patronage organisations, including a connection to his late mother, Princess Diana of Wales. A spokesperson told Vanity Fair, during UN General Assembly High-Level Week and Climate Week in New York City, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, will be in town to advance a number of his patronages and philanthropic initiatives. They added he will participate in engagements with African Parks, the Halo Trust, the Diana Award and Travelist. After marrying into the royal family, Princess Diana threw herself into public service, showing she was prepared to go where others weren't. One of these places was the minefields of Angola, where she walked as a patron of the Halo Trust. The organisation is dedicated to removing war debris left by conflicts, but focused on landmines, and Harry has been a patron since 2013. In 2019, during a tour of southern Africa, Harry took the same famous minefield walk as his mother. The path is now part of an urban area and has since been named Princess Diana Street. Harry has continued his work with the Diana Awards even after stepping away from his role as a senior royal, and he recently appeared on a video message to winners at the organisation's annual award ceremony in March this year. While in New York, Harry will work with the Diana Awards and the organisation, which was set up in memory of the late princess, aiming to empower young people to make a change. The trip comes at a time when there is a potential chance of reconciliation for the two brothers, as his older brother, Prince William, 42, may also be in the city at that time for the 3rd annual Earthshot Prize Innovation Summit, which will be held at the Plaza Hotel on September 24th. And then the article goes on about William's Earthshot project, and what else does it say? Oh, that it's been 2 years since he and Harry have spoken. Yeah. So, yeah, it's you know, I was with the article until it started going on about Harry and William potentially meeting. It's unlikely. First of all, it's not confirmed that William is going, and even if he is going, you know, Harry's not going to schedule any time to meet William. If they were going to meet, they would have done it ages ago. So all of this wishful thinking, it's a waste of time, in my humble opinion.
Now, Prince William and Prince Harry have had a reunion of sorts, with the brothers both said to have attended a family funeral in the UK this week. Faye Barker is here with more. Faye, what do we know?
Well, it is reported that the brothers were both in Norfolk for the funeral of their uncle, Lord Robert Fellows. Now, he is Diana's sister's brother, that's Lady Jane Fellows, and he'd also been the private secretary to Queen Elizabeth in the 1990s. He died last month at the age of 82. Now, the Sun newspaper says both William and Harry were at St Mary's Church in Snettersham, which is near Sandringham. It's reported that they sat apart and they did not talk to each other. And the last time they were officially seen together, though, is right back on that Windsor walkabout after the Queen died a couple of years ago. And it is reported that the last known time they were even in a room together was the King's coronation over a year ago. So one royal commentator said today, it is actually quite extraordinary. It seems that Harry came back to the UK from his home in California, seemingly unnoticed.
Absolutely extraordinary. A bit of James Bondery by Prince Harry. How did he get in the country? Nobody saw him, and he suddenly turns up at a parish church in Norfolk. They were both in the same church, the two princes, sitting at the back, not talking, not communicating, not in any way getting close to each other. So I don't think it's the first step towards reconciliation. That's going to take a long, long time.
Well, we have contacted Harry's representatives who say they won't comment on this report. And for William, Kensington Palace also say they won't comment.
OK, Faye, thank you.
And, you know, it's funny that this comes up just after I've come back from New York, because while I was in New York, and I don't know why I always do this, I binge watch things on streaming platforms. This time it was The Crown on Netflix. Don't ask me why. But having watched, I think it's the first couple of seasons, or up, you know, halfway through season 3, Princess Margaret really stuck in my mind. And I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I just wanted to mention this. This woman literally had nothing to do as the spare. And it interests me that people are down on Harry for just being productive. It's like everything he does is wrong. You know what they'd rather see? They'd rather see him end up like Princess Margaret, who suffered from depression, was a heavy smoker and a heavy drinker, and she did not have a happy life. That's what they would love. And that's why they're always trying to tear the Sussexes down, because they don't want them to be happy. When we look at what Meghan is currently focusing on, let's talk about her always looking for new investment opportunities. This article is from page6.com, published on the 28th of August 2024. And just before I continue, page 6, from what I recall, they're not very Sussex friendly. And it's almost as if this article has been written grudgingly. What I mean by that is that later on in the article, they keep referring to Meghan by her surname, which I find quite disrespectful to continue to refer to a woman by her surname. So where you actually read Markle, I'm going to say Meghan, because I'm petty like that. The headline reads, Meghan Markle invests in bag brand Sester Collective after sending sales soaring. Meghan Markle is taking her love of fashion to a whole new level. In a New York Times interview published Wednesday, the Duchess of Sussex, 43, revealed that she recently invested in Sester Collective, a mission-based handbag brand she's worn numerous times over the past couple of years. I spend a lot of time just Googling, looking for brands, she said. When people are looking for things or reading things, I'm trying to find great new designers, especially in different territories. Sester Collective's signature basket bags are handwoven by women in Rwanda, whom we are proud to pay 500 to 700 times the national average salary, as the brand states on its website, and then finished in Italy. Meghan first carried the company's drawstring bucket bag, $790, during a May 2023 dinner date with husband Prince Harry and pals Gwyneth Paltrow and Cameron Diaz at Sushi Bar in Santa Barbara. The style promptly sold out. We've had more sales in one day than we've ever had, Sester Collective co-founder Erin Ryder told The Times. She and partner Courtney Weinblatt-Fasciano reached out to the royal to thank her for her support. And this year, Meghan became the brand's first outside investor. Meghan spoke to her fashion influence in the interview, recalling how after she carried a Strathbury mid-tote, $845, at a 2017 public engagement, it similarly flew out of stock in just 11 minutes, no less. Let me just pause here briefly to say that I do remember that tote, and I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong guys, because you always know more than I do, that it was when Harry and Meghan toured Nottingham in East Midlands in the UK, and I saw that tote and I was thinking, oh, that bag looks really nice. And I would have, had I been able to afford it, I would have bought that bag. I did look at that bag. So I get it. That moment changed everything in terms of how I then looked at putting an outfit together, she said. Times where I know there is a global spotlight and attention will be given to each detail of what I may or may not be wearing. Then I support designers that I have really great friendships with and smaller up-and-coming brands that haven't gotten the attention that they should be getting. That's one of the most powerful things that I'm able to do, and that's simply wearing like an earring. Wow, that's so true. That's so true. The Archetypes podcast host has also been spotted carrying Sesta Collective's braided canvas tote, $750, and crossbody, $750, the latter at the 2023 Invictus Games. She matched her brown suede clutch, $490 from the brand, to her Maximara wrap coat in February, and also packed a beige version of the crossbody for her, and this article is not well written, for her and Prince Harry's recent trip to Colombia, styling it with 2 different outfits. Meghan is no stranger to investing. The Times story notes that Meghan's growing portfolio includes 10 different companies, including vegan instant latte brand Clever Blends. Investing in them has helped me line up for this chapter where I'm investing in myself, she said, referencing her new business venture, American Riviera Orchard. And let me conclude by reminding you that the Royal Foundation is still benefiting from Meghan's first solo project when she was under the remit of the firm. This is another article taken from express.co.uk, published on the 27th of August 2024, and the headline reads, Meghan Markle's true impact on Royal Foundation laid bare in shocking new statistics. The Royal Foundation's 2023 annual report has been released, and it shows the impact Meghan Markle had before she left the firm. I'm actually surprised that a tabloid is reporting on this. Anyway, let's continue. The Royal Foundation's 2023 annual report has just been published, and it gives a new insight into Meghan Markle's impact on the firm. The 44-page document shows that the Duchess of Sussex's charity cookbook that she launched in 2018 to raise funds for families affected by the Grenfell fire made a sales income of £84,540 last year. Figures show that the financial impact of her cookbook, titled Together, Our Community Cookbook, was more the Royal Foundation. I think that should say was more than the Royal Foundation raised for mental health and emergency responders programs, and funded more grants than the early years and emergency responders. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? But Prince William's Earthshot Prize brought in just under £1.3 million, and his homeless project brought in just under £1.6 million, though £1.5 million was spent on costs. Isn't that interesting? Since the cookbook was launched, a project that marked Meghan's first since joining the royal family, it has raised an impressive £911,000. And here's a screenshot of the report. You can't see it very well, but it's available. It's in the public domain if any of you want to go and see that. Meghan, who married into the family in May 2018, hasn't been a patron for the Royal Foundation since 2019, nor a senior working royal since early 2020. Royal Suitor shared the findings on their X page, and many Sussex fans shared their thoughts on Meghan's impact on the foundation. Noting Meghan's remarkable work, one wrote, "The Hub Community Cookbook will have a lasting impact on British communities for years to come, a testament to Meghan's remarkable achievements during her tenure as a working member of the royal family." Another wrote, "Amazing that Meghan's first solo project continues to have such an impact. Love that she restricted the profits from the sale of the cookbook. 5 years on and they still have to write about its success." So true. A third commented, "The Duchess of Impact, the Meghan Markle effect never fails," whilst another simply wrote, "Beyond impressive." Together was created by women volunteering at a local kitchen to provide food for those who lost their homes during the Grenfell fire. Speaking at the launch of Together at Kensington Palace in September 2018, Meghan said, "Working on this project for the past 9 months has been a tremendous labour of love." Meghan, who has been privately visiting the cooks, added, "I had just recently moved to London and I felt so immediately embraced by the women in the kitchen. Your warmth, your kindness, and also to be able to be in this city and to see in this one small room how multicultural it was." So when Meghan's detractors continue to detract, let them. When they resist the fact that Meghan is proactive and productive, they fail to comprehend that resistance is futile. When they say Meghan is a grifter and a scrounger and every pejorative term they can muster, allow them to continue in their delusion, because Meghan's work will always speak for itself. Meghan is not the first Afro-descendant member of a European royal house, but not even the House of Windsor, as much as they despise this woman, can deny her strong influence and lasting impact, especially since they continue to benefit so significantly from her efforts. Okay guys, so gonna try and keep this as brief as possible because I literally have stuff to do. Where I need to go is going to close shortly. Let me just touch on Harry flying in under the radar into the UK. It made the media mad because they had no clue. And I love it. James Bondery is what it was referred to by Michael Cole, who is, I believe he works for GB News, and he was not happy at all. He was not happy. Why is it such big news? He came for a family occasion. He doesn't need to let people know whether he's coming or not, especially as the security issue is still an issue. If it's, you know, on business like Invictus or something like that, that's different, okay? But when it's a family occasion, why does he need to announce anything? William doesn't announce anything like that. In fact, they weren't even concerned about William, you know, whether he was going to come or not. I think it was a few weeks ago that it was kind of implied, or, you know, kind of the impression was that Harry wasn't going to come to the funeral, and obviously he did. I don't blame him for doing that. I don't blame him, because from a security aspect, it's safer to do that. And the British media are just mad that they didn't have advance notice. I love it. And then when it comes to Meghan, you know, they treat her as if she has no sense, but she has to be a very, you know, she's one of the most savvy business women that I am aware of, because she does not use the attention for herself. Okay, she already knows, like she said, she knows that any attention that is given will be on what she's wearing or not, or what she's not wearing. So the fact that she, you know, highlights or gives exposure to brands that previously had zero exposure is so clever, because she invests in those companies and then she reaps the benefits as well. I mean, and not only that, her first solo project, as you know, we talked about earlier, as I talked about earlier in the video, with the Hub community, the Royal Foundation is still benefiting from that. And you know who fronts that? As you saw in that screenshot, it's William and Kate. They are still benefiting from work that Meghan did 5 years ago. But you see how they treat her. How disgusting. You know, and the fact that she ring-fenced the profits for that, again, they can't use that for costs or administration, or, you know, it's got to be used to help the community that it was intended to help. You know, the Royal Foundation, William and Kate, well, William, let me talk about William, let me not talk about Kate. William, as you could see, generated more revenue, but most of that went on to costs. Why is that? So whatever he's raised for the homelessness charity, that's virtually gone. You might as well say that's virtually gone. So how is he helping the homeless? Let me not even go into that subject. There's supposed to be some documentary coming out about that later on this year. But ultimately, none of this is new. Okay, when we talk about people of colour, women of colour, predominantly entering European royal families. I know we've got that guy, they had their wedding, they're having their wedding this weekend in Norway. But this is nothing new, and this is what I don't understand about Britain. You know, they still have a problem with Meghan. You know, let's just say it how it is. Ultimately, it comes down to the fact that she is an Afro-descendant woman. That's what the problem always will be. And as far as the British media is concerned, she's not allowed to be at the top of the pyramid. I've talked about this in numerous videos. She is not allowed to be at the top of the pyramid. They're supposed to be where she is, and they will never get to where she is. And this is why they want her and Harry to divorce, because if her and Harry divorce, she's not at the top of the pyramid anymore. I mean, it's nothing new, guys. It's nothing new. You know, after all this time, why is it still a novelty? Why does it still bother people in this country that Meghan is where she is? Even if she wasn't with Harry, okay, let's be honest, she'd still be successful. Maybe not as exposed, but that doesn't really matter to her. And this is why when people are calling for their titles to be removed, remember, Harry and Meghan said they were ready to give up their titles, and the firm, you know, didn't take them up on their offer. So all these people, oh, you know, they need to have their titles removed. Remove them. Harry will still be a prince. His children will still be of royal blood, whatever that means, okay? Because I don't really buy into all of that. Blood is blood at the end of the day. You know, their titles don't mean anything, you know, because at the end of the day, it's their character that speaks for what they do. And they're doing a good job as far as I'm concerned. So let the detractors say what they want to say. As I said before, let them talk, because what the Sussexes do will speak for themselves. You know, they keep calling them grifters and lazy. Who? I mean, guys, you already know who the lazy ones are. Yeah, we already know that. Anyway, let me not talk too much, guys, because I have really got stuff to do. I need to get to this shop before it closes. So let me just conclude by saying thank you once again. I'm going to extend my thanks to all of you who sent your well wishes, positive vibes when I was in New York with my daughter. I miss her so much. That week went like that, okay? It's like a blur. And I almost didn't do a video because my voice had gone. You can kind of hear that. And I think it was a combination of jet lag and not too much sleep. New York is literally the city that never sleeps. London is tame by comparison, okay? But I would go again. I absolutely loved it. A week. I thought it was going to be enough, but yeah, I think I needed another 3 to 4 days, but I will visit again. So thank you guys. You guys are just so amazing. Thank you so much. If your thoughts were provoked in any way, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you should catch me in the next video.